Hi guys! Today I'm gonna show you how to use some of the garden goodies. So I have here a lot of rosemary, and if you remember from the garden tour that I showed you, we have a huge rosemary bush, and I wanted to preserve some of the good stuff, so the rosemary, for winter, and that's why I made this great rosemary salt that you can then use over the winter and have that great rosemary flavor in your food. So what I have here is about half a cup of rosemary. You can also double the portion and just make more at once. The problem is I didn't have enough salt, so I'm just making half of the portion. So about half a cup tightly packed rosemary greens, and that's 20 grams, about 20 grams. And then here I have some pink Himalayan salt, and I have 2 cups or 500 grams here. This method is like back to basics, so we are only using the chopping board and a sharp knife. You could also do this in a blender, it goes much faster. So if you have a blender, just toss in the rosemary and the salt in a blender and blend until you have like a coarse salt. But I'm gonna use the basic method and show you how you can make it without the blender. So we are going to just chop the rosemary really finely. Also, what I did here, I added only like a little of the rosemary first, so I can get it really fine. It's easier for me to cut it like that, so if you add it all at once, it's gonna be hard for you to make sure there are no big pieces left. So once it's looking like this, that's when it's ready. So I'm gonna add this into a separate bowl and continue with the rest of my rosemary. So 2 hours later. No, I'm just joking. It's gonna take you a while still, so about 10 to 15 minutes, but it shouldn't take longer than that to chop the rosemary finely. And then you want to add the salt into the same bowl. So like I said, I'm using the Himalayan pink salt, but you can also use any salt that you normally would use. And then we just want to give it a very good mix. So mix the salt well with the rosemary. And the smell at this point, no doubt you will be knowing what you're making. It smells of rosemary, it smells really lovely. Then you want to grab a baking tray, cover it with parchment paper and spread the salt over the parchment paper. Now this is going to go into the oven so that the rosemary can dry, and then you can store it and use it for a year. And as always, for the recipe, check the direct link in the description box. So you want to give it about 15 to 20 minutes, and or it can take a little bit longer. So I want to keep on checking the rosemary, so the salt is just there. You don't need to worry about that, but you need to make sure that the rosemary turns black. So it's going, well, not quite black, but dark. So when the rosemary is fresh, it's green, and then when it starts drying, it turns dark, like here you can see. It's all turned dark, there are no green bits anymore. That means it's dry and I've removed it from the oven. Now I'm just gonna allow it to cool like this until it's completely cooled, and then I'm gonna be storing it in jars. I hope you enjoyed watching this quick and simple recipe for rosemary salt, and let me know what kind of recipes you will be using the rosemary salt for. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget that thumbs up for support and subscribe for some more delicious videos and great tutorials. I know I will be making some more videos on how to preserve the garden herbs, so there will be more coming soon. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye until next time.